Thank you.
Okay. Stephanie?
Hi, Helen. It's pretty
Hi.
amazing to talk to you.
Oh, thank you.
I have been practicing for about 12 years, and I've been able to really sit in the silence and experience that. And a lot of reactions have fallen away from me. I react to things very differently than I used to, which is really wonderful. And but I have still at times when I'm really caught and really identified, I have this knot of fear and helplessness. And this may sound really stupid, but I sit in the silence and sometimes I get angry at it. And I see why are you just sitting there? This thing is happening, like my son has a severe mental illness, and then I'm concerned about some other really difficult suffering that's going on in the world. And I just clench up around that. It's such a strange feeling to do that to the silence, because there have been times when I'm in the silence and I just kind of feel dissolved into it. And I know that's me, but right now at this moment, I'm very caught. And it's like I'm going, how do I let go? And how do I stop being mad at the silence for not doing something about this, some particular suffering? So that's my question.
So can you start by giving yourself a break? So when I'm caught up in my mind, when I'm really contracted, when I'm really suffering, can I, and I remember being really, really angry at the silence. I mean, like yelling and having a real tantrum at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my experience was very polarized. There'd be these deep, 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 beautiful states when I was meditating. And as you said, just the absence of anyone at all, and just this pure silence and stillness that was where everything was totally okay. Nothing could ever be wrong. And then the other seemingly opposite experience where there was a lot going wrong. And as much as I dipped into this silence, it didn't seem to change what was happening in the rest of my life. And that was pretty much the worst place of my awakening, because I got very frustrated, very angry, and felt very hopeless, as you said, I think, too. So you're not alone in that. So starting with forgiving yourself that that's going on. Okay. So if you get angry, can you just get angry without, and of course your mind might say this, but don't have to subscribe to the idea that you should not be getting angry. Of course, you'd rather be feeling peaceful and joyful. But if you're angry, can you just be angry without any attempt to change it at all when it happens? And when, and that's something you can practice right now, even whatever you're feeling right now, can you just feel it? Can you just be it? You're doing absolutely amazing. Take a moment. It's totally okay. What is it like to just be here with me? We're just here together and we're safe, you and me. Whatever you're feeling, you don't have to like it, of course, but how does it feel to not, and I don't need you to tell me, don't worry, just to not try to change it? Can you give yourself permission to feel it?
I'm afraid it will never go away.
So just allowing that feeling too, okay? Let's see here, you and me. If you feel it, let's see if that's true, that it won't go away, okay? Of course you want it to go, but it hasn't worked at making it go by pushing it away, has it? That hasn't worked for any of us. So let's say for this time that we're talking here, we're just going to let it exist. We don't like it. Maybe don't even want it, but can we just let it be? Just while we're talking here. And let's actually find out if it's true that it will stay here forever if we feel it properly, fully, as much as we can in this moment. Let's see what happens actually. Take your time. Something doesn't like the emotion, that's totally okay. Something would rather be blissful and joyful, of course.
I'm aware that something's really angry and it doesn't want to yield. It doesn't want.
It doesn't have to yield. It doesn't have to. We're going to let it be. Just finally meeting this thing with me here. Let's just meet this, you and me here together. We can do this together, can't we? It doesn't have to give in. We're not going to force it to do anything at all. We're just going to let it be whatever it is in your body. Your body can feel the fullness of the sensation of it as it moves around inside and changes whatever is going on. So just for some time, we're just going to let it be, whatever that is. We don't even need to know how to do that. We're just going to not try and change it. And whatever is kind of defended inside because it thinks we're going to try to make it go away, it can relax a little bit in that because we're not going to even do that now. We're not going to make it leave. Doing really, really well. So what's happening is you just let it be.
Well, there is a little bit of a loosening when I heard you say we're not going to try to make it go away. It doesn't want to be made.
Yeah, it's terrified of being made, isn't it? It's terrified.
Yeah, very, very terrified.
So the most loving thing we can do is say, it's okay. You are okay as you are. We don't need you to change. You can be inside my body for this time. We give you total permission to exist. We're not going to force you to do anything. This is like the space of being, isn't it? We're doing it can't change anything. It's just letting this be completely. And yes, there might be a small opening, a space, but that's not why we're doing it. We're just doing it because it's the kindest thing we can do right now for our body, for our emotion.
Yeah, it's really fighting, saying, don't trust her, don't listen.
It's okay. I don't need it to trust me. It's totally okay.
Feels really kind of, when I encounter it, it feels really crazy and I hate myself. Kind of, yeah, okay. I'll just let it be.
Allowing that feeling too. You're doing so well. Who you really are is big enough for all of this, and your body can actually feel this when we just let it happen, yeah, to the best that you can. Taking as much time as you need here because this is very important. There's some pain coming out here, isn't there? There's some very deep-seated hurt, and everyone here is supporting you and loving you and encouraging you. This is awakening. This is being with what is here in the most loving way we can. Can you feel even something different that we're not trying to change? It may be just something slightly different to last time you felt it.
Yeah, the tears are different.
Yeah.
It's been very difficult for me to cry for the past 5 years.
Yeah. Because something inside is that there's like a very small, scared, angry, defended something inside us, isn't there? And it's terrified that the great space of our being is going to come and annihilate it or make it go or something. And all it really needs is the love of the space of being to say, it's okay that you're here. It's okay. It just needs your body to feel it. That's all it needs. And we can call that love. We can call it allowing, whatever. Just don't have to like it. It might be very intense in the sensation, but still we can be with it as much as we can. There's no absolute in that. Right now I'm doing the best I can, which is what you're doing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the best I can. It doesn't feel like I'm doing very good.
But you're doing amazing. So how has the sensation changed since it started? Is it beginning to move around a bit?
Yeah. Sort of dropping down into my gut more.
Yeah. So when it's been resisted, it's kind of held as tight ball of energy deep inside. Yeah. And for me, it was stuck here and in my gut, kind of really. So as we're just letting it be, you might find it begins to loosen up a bit more like a liquid rather than a solid. Just able to move a bit. Just take a nice deep breath for me if you can. That's good. One more if you can. Just helping your body to just relax as you're breathing. How are you feeling now?
It feels more relaxed.
Good.
Yeah, it does.
So we haven't done anything amazing, have we? We didn't like it, we didn't want it, but we still just kind of let it be as much as we could. And this is coming up now. This is really important. The reason it's being felt right now is because you are already awakened enough to let this come up and go. It's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because now you no longer need to hold on to this. It's coming up to be felt and released. So it's because you're doing really well in your awakening that this is happening. Our mind says it's the opposite, right? I'm doing something wrong. Why hasn't this gone yet? All that stuff. So
yeah.
can you feel it just needs to be felt and allowed and loved? It just needs space to exist. And then it can begin to dissipate and lighten. And for me, there was like intense shame, fear, anger, all in this kind of big ball of stuff.
Yes.
And as I just let it be the best I could in any moment, sometimes that was not very much at all. Sometimes it was quite a lot. It would just begin to lighten into just fear, or then eventually just frustration, and it began to lighten in frequency and eventually back to peace. And your body can do that all by itself. Just need to kind of get out of the way. That process is what we're doing here. Do you feel that that's what's going on? Your body knows what to do with it innately.
It feels like there's some energy moving up and out. I mean, it's subtle, but there seems to be something, kind of a relaxed feeling moving up and out.
So instead of it being this kind of solid thing, it's beginning to move now up the chakra system through the meridians. And you don't need to know about any of that. It's just, you can feel it moving now. And energy's supposed to move, isn't it? It's where it's got stuck because we've been kind of holding it in one place. I don't really want to feel this because it's never going to go away. That idea is so resistant to what the energy wants to do, which is to move. So yeah. Amazing. Doing amazing. One more nice deep breath for me.
Thank you, Helen.
How are you feeling now?
Much.
You feeling better? A little better?
It feels looser.
Yeah.
It feels looser.
And it might come again in another few waves.
Yeah.
It probably won't be as intense next time it comes, because you'll resist it less, because you'll kind of, it's just a new habit, a skill to learn to just let something exist, isn't it? We haven't really been taught how to do that ever, any of us. So yeah. And as it moves more, when it comes, it will move through quicker, it will change easier, and you begin to feel some peace, some contentment as it starts to move, or the body relaxes a little bit then in that. Yeah, wonderful. You've done so well there. Not easy to raise your hand when you feel like that, but you did, so well done.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody.